I think probably what really attracted me was Mr. Gilroy ringing me up and saying, would I be part of it? He was writing it, he was directing it, he was showrunning it, and I was just delighted by his enthusiasm, his excitement about the project. I mean, we're all so aware of Star Wars. I was very happy to join the universe anyway, but it was very exciting being asked to take part. Well, Marva is Cassian's mother, but she wasn't always his mother. She finds him when he was a child, and she takes him home and becomes his mother and looks after him for all those years. And this is both a great thing and a bad thing, in that she loves him like a mother, but he's always got this hankering for his sister, who he wants to find in Canary, or who may have left Canary at the same time. So he is a sort of happy but reluctant son, I think, but he loves her too, and she's the only mother he really knows. So that's really who she is. She's his mother, and a very important person in Ferrix, because she is part of the Daughters of Ferrix. She looks after Ferrix. She looks after the community. She's very pro-community. She's a very kind person, and I think probably a person who instills very good values into Cassian. I'd worked with Adria in a strange series about witches some years back, so it was lovely to see her again, but I have nothing to do with her in the series, sadly. I mean, she's just around. She's part of my community, but not part of my scenes. And no, it was my first time working with Diego, which was just beautiful, and I'm very glad to have done that. And I know some of them, of course. The Irish girls I know, because we all know each other vaguely from being from Ireland. So that's been very nice, but we haven't worked together. My scenes were quite contained, you know. I really mainly worked with Cassian. Did I enjoy working with the droid? I so enjoyed it that I would like to have a droid, and I hope I will have a droid if I can live long enough, because the great thing about B2 is that, you know, Jan Spack has got a personality, definitely has got to understand its master, in that it now knows, you know, what you can and can't tell Marva. It has a sort of moral compass. It's not keen on lying, which is very good, that the droid is meant to be loyal, like a dog is to its owner. And is now getting very old. So the droid's getting old, like Marva's getting very old. And so the old droid and old Marva live together. So in theory, it's a happy little relationship. What impressed me most about the whole thing was, of course, the costumes, which were, when I walked in for my costume fitting, they had different costumes with different aesthetics for different planets. And that you begin to, you know, and these are hundreds of costumes in certain shades that have different references to different parts of Africa or Asia or other historic events, other uniforms. And then you go to the Ferrix world, which is responding to a metallic world, and you think, gosh, this is just the costumes. And then you get into the costumes, which are indeed industrialized in that Ferrix is an industrial place, and then walk onto the set, which is built from, it seems, some sort of adobe mud, but meets this old, reused, recycled lumps of spaceships. And you think, God, whoever invented this is a genius, because it has an aesthetic you half recognize and absolutely have never seen before. And the detail of this on the sets makes you just want to lick every corner and see, you know, how did they turn that screw into a little tap? Or it's ingenious. Well, you know, that was your great detail on a set makes you feel that you must bring what you can bring. If they have given such detail, then you just need committed performances, because the only thing an actor can bring to a period set, and this is a sort of future period set, is the honesty of now and the complexity of now. Because if you bring that, it matches the detail that is believable. What you're trying to do is sell the impossible to an audience who say, prove it, that we should believe you. Why should we believe you? And you say, because look at that set and look at these performances. I think I liked best the whole experience of being able to play somebody who is old and near death, whose life should be over, but who, as the series develops, you begin to realize had a completely different earlier life, was a swashbuckling pirate who went around the universe collecting lumps of metal and turning them into spaceships, who could mend spaceships, somebody very unlike me. I really enjoyed that. And I also really enjoyed that this character is not somehow shelved as being part of the background of Cassian's life, but rather is implicitly necessary and an ignition key to the entire rebellion that then occurs. I hope that the viewers experience themselves and can imagine themselves in those situations, so that, if they can identify with the characters are there for them to identify with. They're as complex as the people watching it. They are not in any way black and white or good or bad. They are characters full of the depth, problems, and difficulties of living in a world that is changing under their feet, as is ours.